All right, so now we're going to talk about the 6 to 12-year-old. Now, the 6 to 12-year-old is significant because that's the first time in most of our lives that we leave the home and go into the world of our peers. Now, with the generations that are being born now, that's really been adjusted because they're going to preschool so much earlier. But for most of us who are in adulthood and are in our late 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, we were challenged with that. And that's about the first time that we were in a situation where we could compare our family life to the family life of others. It's also the first time that we ever felt the comparison between how we could compete against like our peers, whether we were included or excluded. That's a big issue, 6 to 12-year-old. Issues of being able to begin and complete projects, because that's when we really thoroughly begin to have assignments that we have to complete. Well, this is the stage where, in my experience, our loyalty gets lodged. And the reason is that it's during this period that we can begin to see what it is that we need to accomplish, and that is put up against where our attention is within the dysfunctional family system. So if there's a lot going on within the family, basically you didn't have the skills, you didn't have the energy, you didn't have the ability to focus on what the tasks were that you needed to accomplish, because all of your emotional energy was tied up in just being focused on what was going on at home. So you wouldn't have learned how to compete in a healthy way. You wouldn't have learned how to begin and complete projects. You wouldn't have been able to deal with that tension that happens around the being chosen and not being chosen. That's when we're doing team sports. And so all of those issues have to do with the 6 to 12-year-olds. So what we're going to do is we're going to begin to neutralize that. But the codependent bargain and the cherished saboteur that emerges from this stage of development is that part of you that never had a chance to really learn the social needs of mixing with your peers. So whatever experiences you had with that, whatever tension you have with that, whatever discomfort you feel with that, then it's that inner child that's going to need your attention. So we're going to do a neutralizing on that codependent self, that cherished saboteur. Now he or she would sabotage your efforts to succeed because he or she does not want to be disloyal to the dysfunctional family system. If there's an aspect of you who is tied in to the antiquated patterns of mom and dad, this is that self. This is the part of you who's going to have a hard time exceeding and excelling beyond what mom and dad were able to accomplish because of that loyalty. Again, there's a lot more information written on the website about this, so I encourage you to visit that. All right, so even though I have this inner child within me, this 6 to 12-year-old who really is so afraid of competing, is so afraid of being left out, just procrastinates because he doesn't know how to play to win. She doesn't know how to compete. And that part of me is just afraid to participate in life because he or she never learned how to do that during this crucial developmental stage. So even though I have a wounded 6 to 12-year-old, I really want to embrace that part of me now. I want to embrace all the children within that age range, even if there's more than one. Because I know how vital they are. Something on my computer just stymied me. And I really want to work with that part of self so that we can heal. So even though I have this part of me who feels really wounded and scared and never got picked, never learned how to compete, never learned how to socialize in a way that was comfortable. I now choose, as the adult, to do what I need to do to help that younger part step into his or her mastery. If I need to be tutored, if I need lessons, if I need to develop skills that allow me to then work with this part of myself, I'm willing to do what I need to do to gather the skills, to connect, so that we can once again be one. All right. This 6 to 12-year-old gets so scary, feels so insecure, doesn't know how to compete, doesn't know how to begin and complete projects, or over-competes, just doesn't know how to play fair, gets really scared, didn't have the emotional energy to learn what he or she needed to learn. And so now it's up to me. Now it's up to my adult self. I really need to address his or her needs. I need to do some work with this inner self. I need to help him or her trust me enough to begin to break the loyalties so that he or she can let go. I need this part of me. He or she's vital to helping me attract my ultimate desires, to attain my ultimate goals. I can't move on without this part of me. And I'm now ready to do what I need to do to help repair the wounds of this inner child, to help that inner child begin to dissolve any loyalties that keep us stuck. And I'm willing to do so now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now again, this is a part of self who is just riddled with so much loyalty and so many issues that this little video is just there to help you begin to establish that relationship and to acknowledge that you're willing to do whatever you need to do, that you're willing to learn whatever you need to learn on behalf of this inner child so that he or she can begin to heal. Thank you.